What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarice.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
It's a Monday.
It is.
That is right. It is a Monday, because this show, from now on, is only on Mondays. This is our first, full week off morning show.
Yeah. It was weird. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was nice. I missed y'all a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We could not wait to get back to streaming.
Yeah.
But it was really nice to be able to just, wake up and, cool, I have some time. You know, this is nice.
Yeah. Misguided Gamers Live wants to know what we did with all of our time.
Well, here's the thing. Our, first day off, we both woke up and we were like, all right, we're going to go to Costco. We cleaned the whole apartment. We cooked dinner. It was we had to, make ourselves busy because we were like, what do we do?
We literally, spot cleaned the living room. We dusted everything.
Yeah.
We, took things off of shelves.
Yeah.
It was kind of wild.
Yeah.
And now it's a mess again. It literally reverted to a mess so quickly.
Yeah.
But it's less dusty.
It is. So. It's less dusty, so that's good.
I spent a lot of time playing Immortals Fenyx Rising because I wanted to finally beat that game.
Yeah, that took you a while.
I haven't been playing it on stream. It was kind of my off-stream game because I thought it would be fun, and then I didn't enjoy it very much. Which is,
kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm going to put out a review on the YouTube. Immortals Fenyx Rising is... I would wait for it to be on sale. It'll go on sale again. It's already been on sale twice, so don't buy it at full price.
Yeah. Yeah, even watching you play and listening to you play, I was like, I'm not gonna pick up that game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because there's so much potential in it. Mm-hmm. But it really is just a less good Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It's less interesting. The jokes are very odd. There's a lot of humor in it that is it looks like a kid's game. It looks like it is more, child friendly. Mm-hmm. But then, Zeus will use words like prostitutes all out of nowhere. And you're just kind of that seems a little odd.
Yeah. So it feels very out of place.
There's also one joke. There's one joke, I don't want to even describe it because it's very inappropriate. But it involves Hermes and his tunic. And it is so out of left field for there suddenly to be a very odd joke. Mm-hmm. I don't really understand what the team behind the game was going for.
Yeah, who is this game for? But yeah, there's going to be a full review on the YouTube, so
that'll be coming soon.
Make sure you check that out if you're interested in the game. It might influence you one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. But we also did come back to streaming over the weekend, and you started your Bryant run.
Yes. Okay. So if you weren't there, Saturday I started a brand new build. I play Skyrim every Saturday, so come join me at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We finished off with the Night King, and started a brand new build this week based off of Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones, which was an experience. It took me a while to get used to because I've never used a shield in Skyrim. I've never blocked in my whole life. In
any video game?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's much. Dodge or die.
I don't block. I just run in and hit really hard and hope that I kill them before they kill me. It's kind of my strategy. So, I usually go for Spell Sword as a build. Mm-hmm. And so having a character who does not use magic at all is a challenge. So I'm really looking forward to coping with that, figuring it out. I got killed by a skeever 8 times in a row. It was sad. But we're figuring it out. It's a lot of fun. The last 2 characters I played, the Night King and Cersei Lannister, have been bad people. Mm-hmm. And Brienne of Tarth is not. She is, I wouldn't say a lawful good, because she, we first meet her as supporting Renly Baratheon, who has no claim to the Iron Throne, being the younger brother of the two, but she loves him, and she's a good person who definitely attempts to do the right thing in situations. So it's going to be very different, different morally how I play through the game than the last two playthroughs.
So you're not going to end this run through by killing everyone in Whiterun again?
No, no, I won't do that.
Yeah, and I'm still playing Pokemon because Nuzlocke, and I just despise myself.
Oh, please. You're having so much fun.
I am. It's really fun.
You played 8 hours yesterday.
I did. But that's us. Should we get into what's going on with the world?
Yeah.
It's time for the news.
We got some news for you.
Talk for a second while I get to it.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, okay.
This is our title story.
That's
Raya
fine.
and the Last Dragon is leading... I know, that was what I was trying to do. I wanted to... Raya and the Last Dragon is leading the best weekend box office since the pandemic shut down theaters last March.
Yes.
It wasn't a huge lead. It narrowly beat out the opening weekend from Christmas for Wonder Woman 2's opening weekend.
It's like Christmas.
Wonder Woman 2's opening weekend, led by $60 million from Wonder Woman, was $23.8 million. And this past weekend was $25 million domestically.
Nice.
That's the US and Canada. That is spurned partially by the fact that New York City has opened its theaters, and they're allowed to run up to 25% capacity or 50 people, whichever is lower. Or higher. Wait, no. Whichever is lower. Because if 25% is more than 50 people, you have to cap at 50. Right.
Right. Okay.
This was on the backs of an all-right opening for Raya and the Last Dragon, but not an amazing one. It did come in at number 1, but it's only at $8.6 million. We're going to talk about that in a second, but let's get through at least the top 5 here. In number 2 is Tom and Jerry. Dropped 53% from its $14 million opening last weekend.
Big drop.
53 is actually not bad.
No? Okay.
No, 53 is actually pretty alright for a movie like this.
Big.
Especially, 14 million was actually a really good opening for that movie. Significantly higher than Raya and the Last Dragon. In number 3 is Chaos Walking, the new Tom Holland Daisy Ridley movie at $3.8 million.
We gotta watch that.
We do have to watch that.
Yeah, that one looks fun.
And a movie I've never heard of, Boogie, opened at number 4 with $1,200,000. Our dear Croods 2 has unfortunately fallen to number 5.
Fallen from grace.
With $780,000. The Croods 2 is now at $53.6 million in its domestic run. And this fall to under $1 million makes it seem like that goal of beating Tenet isn't going to happen.
It might happen.
The problem is in the next few weeks, there are some actual big movies coming out. The Croods was able to kind of skate by because nothing was coming out. Yeah. And it was kind of the top of the box office for a while. It is now 15 weeks in release.
Considering they're doing all right.
The good news for Croods 2 is that its international take for its entire run so far is $157.6 million. So pulling in $104 million internationally is actually pretty good considering everything. And they have announced that Croods will get a third movie. We've become a little infatuated with this movie, despite the fact that we haven't seen it.
We've never seen it. We're just like... We're rooting for it, you know?
Just following it at the box office.
You gotta have something in pandemic times to really root for, you know?
Yeah, and that's all the big stuff. Everything else is under $600 million. Little things, Wonder Woman, Marksman, Judas and the Black Messiah, and Monster Hunter make up the top 10, but Monster Hunter's only at $260,000.
Oof.
So that's not going to be... that movie's essentially finished its run. The interesting thing about all of this is Raya and the Last Dragon really did not do all that well. $8.6 million does not compare very favorably to Tom and Jerry's $14 million last weekend.
That's true.
And part of the reason for that is actually that Disney did not make a deal with Cinemark, which is the third leading distributor of films in the United States, or the number 3 exhibitor, of films in the United States. Okay. And so Cinemark did not play the film Raya and the Last Dragon in any of its theaters this weekend. This is partially because when Warner Brothers announced that it was going to do its streaming day and day of, that movies would be on that movies would be in theaters, but also on HBO Max at the same time.
Yeah.
they went out and made deals with all the theaters that for the theatrical release of their movies, they would take a smaller cut than they typically would.
Oh,
so the theater would keep more. It's the rental fee. The theater would actually keep more of a ticket that was sold in their theater than would have previously happened under pre-pandemic things. Disney apparently put Raya the Last Dragon on its Disney Plus service, but wasn't willing to cut its theatrical take at all.
Oh, I see.
They wanted to make the same amount from the theater that they would have previously, but also just be allowed to put it on their Disney Plus streaming service.
So Cinemark was like, hell no.
Yeah. And so the real question about Raya's success is going to be the Disney Plus number, because obviously...
If it's worth it.
Yeah. $8.6 million is not very much. We haven't done it yet, but we're probably going to buy the premium access and watch it.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
You know, if
the reviews are incredible.
If we could see it in theaters, we would.
100%.
That would be the preferable option to support movie theaters.
I don't think we'll be able to see a movie in the theaters in March.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't think they'll open up here.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. It is interesting. Warner Brothers was able to do something that Disney wasn't. And, you know, in this case, it's hard to tell if Disney was being a little bit greedy. Ultimately, we'll never know if this worked out for Disney or not.
Yeah, they don't like to be very public about those numbers.
No. So I'm sure at some point we will get a statement from Disney saying that Raya was the greatest premium access movie ever put on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Because it had like 2 more downloads than Mulan. But yeah. The interesting thing about this is that it doesn't...
Excuse me, sorry.
That was very cute. We still don't have a release plan for Black Widow.
Really?
So we don't know yet if Black Widow is also going to do this premium access thing or if it's going to be in theaters. We're just not sure. But it does look like Black Widow might be pushed back yet again.
No.
Yeah, it's a shame.
The more they push it back, the less relevant it's going to be. There's just going to be so much other
See, I don't actually agree with that. What's interesting about Black Widow at this point is that the MCU hasn't stopped, right? So, like, WandaVision just came out, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to happen in 2 weeks. And so, like, when Black Widow comes out, there is going to be residual MCU interest, because the MCU is riding a high right now. WandaVision was the most talked about thing for the past 2 months.
Oh, for sure. I mean, more in the sense that after Endgame came out, there was a lot of interest around Black Widow. You know, she was a very central character of those movies, whereas she clearly is not in WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I just wonder if that, like, hype over her character is going to die out a bit, and if people will just be like, oh, right, yeah, maybe I'll, like, rent that at home or something.
I don't know. I feel like the promise of the new Black Widow that we're meeting in this movie, in Florence Pugh's character, who is said to like take up the mantle in future films, will be enticing to at least like Marvel fans.
For sure. I don't think the movie's going to do poorly. I just think that they are kind of missing out on prime timing, and obviously there's a pandemic. You can only do what you can do. I just wonder if their numbers are going to suffer the more they push it back.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough though, because like more people might watch it right now, but would it make any money?
Yeah, and I don't know. I could not tell you that.
Yeah, it is tough. The mathematics they must be doing behind the scenes on this are I have no idea.
I can't even imagine.
Like,
I don't know where I would even start.
I would put it out on Disney Plus personally. Even though I want to see it in theaters, I just think like you're getting to the point where you're gonna have too many MCU movies at the end of the year this year.
Yeah.
With Eternals, with Spider-Man over Christmas, and Shang-Chi. Like you have, and Black Widow. You have 4 MCU movies this year, and you don't really want to push any of those to 2022 because then you're butting up against Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of you run into a problem with yourself.
Yeah.
Miss Guy Gamers Live in the chat brings up Venom 2. Venom 2 isn't an MCU movie. It is a Sony universe of Spider-Man. No, it's the Sony universe of Marvel characters. Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. It's called Spunk.
Right.
Oh yeah, we have the MCU. We have the DCEU, and we have the SPUMC.
Yeah. Because why not?
Because why not?
Yeah. Liza in the chat says that Raya was very cute.
Oh, good. Yeah, I want to watch it.
It really looks like it's a fun, like wholesome movie. So I'm excited. We're probably gonna watch it sometime this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
If we can stop watching Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, exactly. In other opening news, we got the news that movie theaters in New York are opening. We also finally got the news that Super Nintendo World will in fact open March 18th. So just a little over a week from now, Super Mario World in Osaka is going to be open and running. And I have to ask, given where we are in the pandemic, would you go to a theme park?
If you had asked me like a few months ago, I would have said no. But the fact that we have talked about that there are no confirmed cases from like a Disney theme park because it's all outdoors, I might. I would feel weird the whole time. Like, I know that about myself. I'd be like, oh my god, there's other humans. Like, there's just people, right? Because we've been kind of... the pandemic has been going on so long that, like, going outside and being around other humans just makes me nervous.
Yep.
And so, I think the same would happen to me. But we have heard from Disney that there is no evidence that outdoor theme parks are a spreader of coronavirus, and from what we know about the disease, it makes sense. And so I feel like I might go if I could. What about you?
I might get in trouble from Disney for this. I don't know if I can say that.
You think that they're lying?
No, well...
I mean, they have their own police.
There's a thing...
So...
do I want to say this publicly? Whatever. They're never going to see it. There is a thing in Disney that no one dies in Disney.
Yes.
Because if you die there, they take you out of the park and then declare you dead elsewhere, outside the park. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
And so there's a part of it, there is a little part of me that's like, no one's gotten COVID at Disney.
Yeah.
That's a relatively well-known thing. Okay, I don't know. I don't want Disney to never hire me because I want to work with them again. I've loved working with Disney in the past. I don't want to like accuse Disney of anything. Because I believe them. I think that theme parks are probably safe. I would go to one.
Based on what we know about the virus, it does make sense.
Yeah, it does.
Nobody's in small enclosed areas breathing in other people's...
I would not go into, like, the theater rooms.
No.
Like the Talking to Crush thing. Like, those kind of things I wouldn't go to. The Little Mermaid show, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I really don't see how you could get coronavirus on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Six Flags would be super safe.
Unless it was, like, on the roller coaster and you licked it or something. But even then, like...
What kind of childhood did you have?
No, I'm saying...
Were you going...
Would
you just
not...
were licking roller coasters?
No, I'm saying that...
kind of makes sense.
No, I'm saying people would not do that.
I buy it.
Because it's weird.
I really want to go to Super Nintendo World.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We have to get to Japan first, but...
Kids do that, though. I mean, that's fair. Misguided.
Gross.
Kids do be kids. This one definitely like roller coasters.
I did not. There's no way in hell.
How can we get to Japan right now?
Well,
we could swim.
Yeah, okay.
We'll swim to Japan.
We'll just, like, find a big piece of plastic and, like, float our way there. Like, flutter kick.
Flutter kick across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Well, the Pacific would probably be faster.
If we don't get eaten by animals along the way, I'm sure it would be a really nice trip and a lot of good exercise.
I don't think we'd get eaten by animals. Summon a whale who could take you? Yeah, I'm going to call it my boy Aquaman. We're going to ride dolphins. That would be fun. I would love to ride dolphins to Super Nintendo World.
God, that would be wild. Here's the thing. I think that, like, flights are open. Like...
How much is a flight to Japan right now?
I don't...
Should we go to Japan tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll just take out a new credit card to do it. Like, great idea. Why don't we just,
We'll make it a biddy goal on our channel.
A biddy goal! Yeah, guys. Fund our trip to Japan and we'll tell you all about Nintendo World.
Wow!
What?
A round trip ticket is only $1,200 Canadian.
Per person?
Yeah. That's so cheap.
I don't know if that's so cheap.
Yeah, it is. No, pre-pandemic it was way more expensive than that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. A flight to Japan is expensive. It's
Okay.
a 17-hour
Alright, I'll leave you.
flight.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
It's off-season. It is off-season. That is true. But $1,200?
Guys, biddy goal.
Toronto to Tokyo. Yeah, we just need $2,400. Should we start a GoFundMe? We'll make a commercial for the GoFundMe that's like, in the arms of Air Canada,
and
we will fly to Japan.
We'll borrow someone's dog and just have them sadly sitting there.
We'll get the puppies from Fanta and Mello.
Yeah, I don't know, Fanta and Mello, if you're there, can we borrow your dogs?
For only $2,400, you could help 2 Canadians go to Japan on a needless vacation.
It's Nintendo World.
To see
Guys,
Super Mario.
We'll tell you all about it. We'll vlog the whole thing. It would be great.
My brother's there, so
yeah,
we could live.
We have a place to stay.
We have a place to stay. I don't know if they've ruined their. We'll sleep on the floor.
We'll
it's
sleep
fine.
on the floor.
We're industrious.
Yeah.
We'll camp. We'll camp outside of Nintendo World. We'll just get a tent.
Okay. Sure. Alright, let's do it. It's
warm in Japan this time of year. We could do it.
That is true. It's nice there.
Yeah. It's not yet summer when it gets too hot. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to GoFundMe a trip to Japan.
Guys, here's my GoFundMe link right now. I just made it.
Here's the funny thing.
Should I drop my only?
If you were to post like a GoFundMe with like a really funny commercial like that went viral, there's a chance that you would get that money.
That's true.
Like the internet is weird enough that like if it just managed to like if one big person retweeted it because it was funny.
Yeah, like if we made somebody laugh.
Yeah, the internet is so weird like that. Because like sometimes people will just, I don't know. I've seen dumb things happen on the internet.
Let's do it. Let's put our brain power together and come up with a really great commercial for our GoFundMe. That's completely honest. It's like we just want to go to Nintendo Land.
There's nothing about it that is a lie. It's a completely dead. We want to be very clear.
Yeah, we want to be very clear. Like nobody's dying. We're perfectly healthy. We just really want to go to Japan. So.
It's so awful.
Hey,
it's so awful.
As long as you're honest, it's fine. People choose where they want to spend their money. You're not like coercing anybody.
That's my logic for applying to fly on Starship with the Japanese billionaire. You know what? Hardcore Soft Popcorn, I wish you the best. I hope that you get that opportunity.
Hell yeah. I don't know.
That is so funny.
It's like, why not, you know?
Should we start a joke GoFundMe and see what happens?
God. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, you know what? Maybe it takes 6 years, but maybe we get there.
Don't GoFundMe's have... I think GoFundMe's have, like, a limit.
Oh, yeah. It has to be, like, by this date.
Yeah.
I think.
Just to play Halo IRL, that would be my pitch. I just want to play Halo in space.
You know what? Fair.
Speaking of video games set in space, the new game Aliens Fireteam was announced, which is a very exciting take on the Aliens franchise. We got Alien. What was that game I was playing? Isolation.
Yeah.
Which seemed very based on the first Alien movie. Mm-hmm. It was a fun game. Didn't get to beat it because my my file got corrupted. It was very odd. So I'm gonna have to restart it, which is unfortunate. But I will go back and do that. But Alien, very much a horror movie. Mm-hmm. Very much a like, ooh, what's around the corner.
It's definitely scary.
Aliens is not that. Aliens is what happens when Michael Bay makes an Alien movie. And it's excellent. It's a very, very good movie, but it's an action movie. It is a soldiers with guns versus aliens kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And Aliens Fireteam looks to be that kind of Aliens game. It is a 3-person co-op shooter that was announced from the studio that made Star Trek Online and City of Heroes.
Oh, interesting.
And both of those were relatively successful games.
Yeah.
And so the plot is 23 years after the Alien trilogy. Aliens Fireteam drops players into the role of a colonial marine aboard the USS Endeavour, recently tasked with answering a distress call from the outer colonies. There's over 20 intelligent enemy types, from xenomorphs to Weyland-Yutani synthetics. They say that it is reminiscent of the gameplay from the recent World War Z title that was kind of a huge hit.
Okay. Interesting.
We don't have like a release date yet, as far as I can tell. But I wanted to bring this one up because I'm actually really excited I'm really excited to play this game. I like Aliens. I like the Alien franchise a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan. And I've liked a lot of the Alien games so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think Colonial Marines was one.
I'm not sure. This is not my area.
But yeah, so you were pretty spooked by Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Would you play a game where you got to mow them down with like guns and stuff?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
That would be scary.
Okay.
I feel like I all I can picture is like, you know, when you go to like the arcade and there's that like pod that you sit inside and it's like a shooter and there's like scary aliens or dinosaurs or whatever it is.
Yes.
That's just what I'm picturing, and those things are scary. So I'm gonna say no, but you can play it. What?
Okay.
They're like, the design of them is terrifying. Like, I don't want...
Yeah, they're pretty scary.
I don't want that to take up any real estate in my head. You know, it's not necessary. I can appreciate it. I'm like, yeah, good job. But,
Taters, thank you for subscribing.
Shin, thank you for gifting that sub.
Oh, Shin, thank you for gifting that sub to Taters. That's very sweet of you, Shin.
Thank you.
Well, we're approaching, like, the halfway point of our show.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a midpoint. And before we pivot to the second half of the show,
mm-hmm.
I think it's time to pay some bills by bringing up our sponsor. The sponsor of today's show is a little segment called Clarus Makes Up the News.
Wow. Damn it.
I got you with that one, didn't I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, where is this going? I was so confused. God dang it. I wasn't inspired by anything. You need to keep telling me the real news so I can...
No, you have to make up the news now. Just go. Come on. First thing off the top of your head. Just say something. Anything.
Aliens. That's it.
Nope.
You said first thing off the top of your head.
Okay, make up the news about aliens then.
I feel like I've done aliens a few times. I'm just trying to shake things up for the people. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm fine. I have no like.
Well.
Mm-hmm.
So, because there's anticipation about, is it Nintendo Land or Nintendo World?
Nintendo World, I think.
All right, y'all. Here's the news. We've discovered that in anticipation for the opening of the new Nintendo World, there is going to be a young adult romance novel about Mario and his love, who you think is Peach, but actually it's Wario. And together, they have a lovely life together. There's some mushrooms involved. Not sure what that means. That's all we've got. Bowser is the godfather to their child, which is Yoshi. I don't really know how genetically that works, but that's fine. And they've named Bowser the Godfather because he gives off those vibes. They are really big fans of the Godfather movie. And that's what they thought it was based after. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's also a mystery element to the novel as well, where Peach is a private investigator and is investigating the disappearance of Toad and all the toads. There's Toad and Toadette, and then there's a bunch of other different colored toads. I don't know. Yeah. No, Waluigi is like the weird uncle who like takes Yoshi out for like ice cream and stuff when like it's like 9 p.m. and it's his bedtime, and then Mario and Wario are like, oh, like that, you can't do that, and he's like, I do what I want.
So where is Luigi in all this?
Luigi is actually over in Finland. Yeah, he started his own brewery there. He doesn't really feature in the novel.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Did Daisy go with Luigi to Finland?
Not sure. Nobody knows where Daisy is.
Oh, wow. Is that going to be like a mystery for the sequel?
Well, I here's the thing. I don't know if she shows up in the first novel at all. You know, obviously they didn't want to give everything away. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Maybe she's the villain. There
have been rumors online that Rosalina is actually Luigi and Peach's child.
No. She's like the
That was a Game Theorist reference for anyone who's seen that video.
No, we've actually got confirmed reports that Rosalina is the queen. The novel takes place in England, and Rosalina is the queen.
God.
She's not related to any of the other characters in any way, shape, or form. She's just there kind of to look nice and create new fashion trends.
So Peach isn't princess anymore?
Nope.
How did Peach lose her crown?
Well, DNA test confirms that she was never actually a princess. Yeah, her family went on Maury? Is that the show? Where they like do DNA tests?
Maury Povich?
That's the one. Yeah, her parents went on Maury, and DNA test confirms that she was not the person that she thought she was. So she was never actually royalty. It's crazy.
There's a lot of genetic testing going on in this novel.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, the future is now, and everyone's all about those, like, 23andMe things. So this novel remains, like, it stays very relevant to the times. Yeah. Yeah. So,
wow.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that you, with a little help, you managed to get most of the Mario characters in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did I miss anyone? I didn't do, like, Bowser Jr. or the girl version of Bowser Jr.
The girl version? Oh, the girls, yeah. The multiple Bowser, yeah. There's like six of them,
There's
right?
a bunch of like little Bowsers that I just kind of left out.
Well done. That was funny. You know what? That was the best part of the show today. I don't know how we topped that.
I mean, the show's only half over, so we can damn well try.
You mean we should do more news?
More news.
In a last bit of, we got a couple more video game
sorry.
stories, and then we're going to get into some very fun movie stories to get us to the end of the show.
Okay, cool.
But the Xbox Series X and Xbox One, Series XS, both of them, and Xbox One, I hate that name. Xbox, I hate the name. I love you.
You just have to start calling it excess, like as in too much of.
XS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Xbox S.
It's going to be getting a new console browser. Mm-hmm. That is called it's called the Microsoft Edge Chromium powered browser. It's a great name.
Wait, what?
It's the new upgraded Microsoft Edge Chromium powered browser. It's
Microsoft, but they want to confuse you and think that you're using Chrome. Because that's
something
what everybody uses. Okay, yeah. Just check.
But this browser will be capable of playing Google Stadia in the Xbox Series XS. It will also eventually be able to play the Amazon Luna gaming streaming service. So you can stream games to your game console. So you can pay to have another service.
I love that.
But if you have Game Pass, I don't really know why you would want to have Stadia.
Couldn't tell you. I could not.
This is very good news for Stadia, which has been having a hard time.
Yeah. Hey, they needed a win. You know, they needed a win.
But this is interesting. I think that having a better... I think that video game consoles should have good browsers. There's no reason why you can't surf the internet on them.
Yeah.
And I know that they already do have browsers, but they always have bad browsers. I wouldn't mind better browser support.
And so they went with Microsoft Edge.
Well, I mean, it is Microsoft Xbox.
I guess they didn't have a choice.
Yeah, they're not gonna be like, hey Google,
No, that's fair. Microsoft is so aggressive in pushing Microsoft Edge. It's hilarious. Like when I had this computer,
it's a terrible browser.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's an awful browser.
So bad. And like if you're on a Microsoft computer, it will like prompt you all the time to use Microsoft Edge instead, and you're like, just drop it. Like leave me alone.
Microsoft Edge is bad. Chrome is a better browser, but Chrome is so huge.
For some reason.
Like 30 gigabytes.
It takes up a lot of power and space, and I don't understand why.
It's because it preloads websites.
Yeah.
So that things open faster.
Okay. Interesting.
On your website. And so it has that ability, and it's awful.
It slows down your computer a lot.
Yeah,
so.
I want someone to come up with a good browser, and there isn't one right now. Like I try every time there's an update, I try different ones, but I'm still using Chrome.
What about Safari?
Does Safari still exist?
On Apple, yeah.
No.
Yeah, you have it on your device.
Oh, I do. That's right.
It's a built-in app. I don't think you can get rid of it.
Yeah, no, I don't use Safari. Safari's trash. We were talking about the Xbox Series XS. Someone asked why. This makes sense to me. I think that having the ability to stream games into a console is another thing that Xbox's whole thing right now is wanting to make gaming as accessible as possible. And so they want to remove barriers to different kinds of gaming, even if it's not their games. And I can kind of appreciate what they're doing with that. I still don't love Game Pass because I'm worried about the future of game making. I'm worried that games are going to get shortchanged by Game Pass, and so they're going to have less time to develop, and then once they're out, developers won't put as much time into them after they're out because it won't be worth it for them financially. I am worried about what Game Pass is going to do to the gaming industry as a whole, but at the same time, I appreciate that Xbox is really standing by its what it said. They said, we are going to make gaming more accessible, and by putting the ability to play Stadia or Luna on your Xbox, I think that is them standing by that, considering they get no money from either of those services. So I don't know. I kind of appreciate this from one angle while also being concerned about Microsoft in another. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with you.
Yeah. And in a fun bit of gaming news that's not so fun for the person involved, a man in the UK escaped from jail last year and has been hiding for months. The man left, the formerly jailed man left his hiding spot because he was bored.
Are you making up the news?
No, this is a true story.
Okay,
100%. He left his hiding spot and went out to buy a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. But of course there's a lockdown in the UK, and so the police were kind of like, why are you out and about? And he lied to them, gave them a fake name, but he did get into an altercation with them and got arrested. And so
oh my God.
This man, who has been out of jail, escaped, for months, is going back because of Call of Duty. He received a 13-month sentence for his original jailbreak, as well as an additional 6 months for the altercation with the police.
Jeez.
Is Call of Duty worth it?
No. No. Jail time? Absolutely not.
Although I also want to say, like, I would like to say I'm glad he was caught, because like he jailbroke, like.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad, but.
No, but I just I can't believe that you risked jail time for
Call of Duty. Really?
Yeah.
There's so many good games out right now, dude. Also, what do you have that you can play Call of Duty on that you can't download the game digitally?
That's true.
You don't have to buy physical copies of things.
That is true.
I don't know how long he was in jail for. Maybe when he went into jail, everything was physical copies and he doesn't know about digital downloads. But, you can just download games at home.
Newsflash.
The number of things I have physical copies for is very low.
Very low.
I buy most of my games on Steam, where I'm pretty sure you can buy Call of Duty.
Yeah. Maybe, I guess it depends on what he games on. But even still,
Marvel Trooper, he could have had it delivered. You can have physical copies of games delivered. The most confusing part of this story is the fact that he was like, you know what? I'm going to go buy Call of Duty right now.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted to pay cash to avoid debit card purchase. Interesting.
Here's the thing.
Interesting. That's, you know what?
Oh, I'm
okay.
sure
Our chat is smarter than us.
I'm sure he paid cash. But has he been hiding out by himself this whole time?
Apparently he was with a friend.
Yeah, so why didn't his friend take the cash and go buy Call of Duty? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why did you feel the need?
Yeah, I don't know. He had a friend, so he could have, like, given his friend the cash, and his friend could have bought him the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all very odd.
Yeah.
But even though Call of Duty gets memed pretty hard, it's decent. Not every game has to be a revelatory, mind-blowing experience. Oh, Taters, I'm not saying that Call of Duty is a bad game.
No.
People who like Call of Duty like Call of Duty. I have no problem with you liking Call of Duty. I just don't think I would go to jail to play it.
Yeah.
Do you think they have Call of Duty in prison? Probably not, right?
No. I'm gonna say no.
I wonder if they have, like... I wonder if, like, low-security prisons would have, like, an N64 in them.
No.
Play some Mario.
No. Jails do not have fun. Do you think they have the funding for a gaming console?
They have books. Books are fun.
Yeah, but the books have kind of, like, been there forever, you know? What? They just, like, accumulate more books. Like, a book is, like, $15-$20. A gaming console and games are much more expensive than that.
I just love the idea that they just built the library and they're like, hey, guys, there's just some books in here. How'd these get here? I don't know. I guess we'll leave them.
It's fine. Don't think about it too hard.
Minimum security prisons have baseball teams? Wait, what?
I'm sorry. You're allowed a baseball bat in jail?
That seems like that doesn't seem very... Like, maybe wiffle ball, but
like,
baseball?
Yeah, like, why baseball? Like, what? Like, I feel like volleyball is a much less dangerous sport.
Yeah.
or
football?
Kickball?
Kickball?
Ultimate frisbee?
A baseball bat seems a very dangerous thing to, like... I guess it's minimum security. The thing is, people in minimum security prisons are generally not... Like, have never hurt anyone, right?
No, I know. It's just...
Your dad's team used to go to the prison to play ball? Wait, so people would go play against prisoners?
That's just north of us.
That's weird.
That is wild.
Oh, it's a Canadian prison. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Someone could be the Call of Duty man of Alcatraz, really get into depth concerning the franchise.
Huh, wild.
That's wild.
No, it's totally popcorn. I'm just surprised that they would... Like, I know you can allow, like, visitors and things like that, but it's in a controlled environment. And, like, a sports game...
Sports, I totally understand. It's the baseball bat that makes it weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's where, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like we're being judgmental in a way that we maybe shouldn't be. But
No, it's not, like, I don't feel like I'm judging those people. It's for a judgment of what I know about, like, the system.
Oh, yeah. You're surprised that they would allow it.
Yeah, that's all. Like, it's not that I'm like, oh my god. It's that I'm, like, genuinely surprised.
Interesting. Do you ever think that there's, like, a prison team that has, like, a really good player? Like, they're having a great season, and then that guy gets out? Like, his time is up,
over.
And the team is just like...
It's like, no.
There goes the season. Our best pitcher, man. He was so good.
Oh, gosh.
He was so good, but now he gets to go back to his life.
Yeah, and I guess you probably can't play on the prison team if you're, like, a visitor.
I don't know.
Like, you couldn't, like...
I didn't know this existed until 2 minutes ago, so I'm at a loss.
Me neither.
He got traded to the Chicago prison baseball team.
Wow. This is... I feel like I've learned so much. I just, like... If I think of jail, I just don't think of anything that has fun in it. Because all I've seen is, like, movies. I've never actually, like, visited a prison in my life.
I know that a lot of prisons have, like, basketball courts.
Yeah.
Well, because they have to have physical activity. Like, it would be beyond inhuman to be like, all right, you're locked up and you can never move. Like, that would be...
No, you're
awful.
100% right. It's just not something that I've ever, like, haven't thought in depth about.
I'm having so many weird thoughts now. Like, I wonder what Canadian prisons do in the wintertime for, like, physical activity.
Oh, God, it used to be so cold outside.
Do Canadians have, like, internal gyms in prison?
Maybe. Or, like, recreational areas.
Ever get hit in the face with a fully inflated basketball? It does hurt. That's true.
Yeah.
I would take that over getting hit in the face with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
I would take 10 basketballs to the face before I would take a baseball bat to the face. Because I'm pretty sure I can survive 10 basketballs to the face. Might end up with a concussion. I'm pretty sure a baseball bat to the face would kill me.
Yeah, could, yeah. It depends on where you hit. Obviously, the like your skull is, there are softer spots to it. Like, you know, it is built.
Oh no!
Durable.
If I swung a baseball bat at a human skull, it would explode. Oh yeah. It would blow up. It would like, yeah.
From what I understand about the skull, it's kind of like an egg, where it's not gonna like explode unless you hit it in the right spot or a certain way.
No, a baseball bat to the head is death.
Maybe
I don't
not,
think you can survive that.
Maybe not instantly, but I don't think, like, it also depends on the person who's like wielding it. It can definitely kill somebody, but I don't think a swing to the head is gonna make your skull explode.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to Google it.
But Jack in the chat has taken a baseball bat to the head, and his head is still there. So,
well, there you go.
only one way to find out.
We have 2 baseball bats, so. No, I'm just saying.
We'll need a GoFundMe for a different reason if we do that.
God. Like the human skull is like meant to be durable. You know, obviously the brain is what's the concern in this situation, but your head's not gonna explode if it gets hit hard. It depends on where you hit it, from what I understand.
I don't know. If I were to like swing a baseball bat at someone's head full force,
I think before
I think they would die.
They definitely.
Granted, I'm also
might.
6'4". I mean, I'm going off of like I'm a large person as well.
They definitely might, but honestly, I think that your neck would probably break before your skull would just like burst. Like the force of it would.
Interesting.
That would. Wow, we're getting really into the weeds here.
Taters just Googled it. All right, Taters. I'm sure your NSA agent is pretty sus of you, but. If your NSA agent has any questions, just revert them. This will be on YouTube. You can refer them to this video.
Yeah.
I was hit by a car and struck my head and had to have stitches in the back of your head, but you didn't die.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're typing in chat. So that's good news.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess in my head, I've always just imagined that like if I swung a baseball bat at someone's head, their head would just be gone. Like it would be like just death. But like maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
This is the weirdest thing we've talked about on the
Yeah,
morning
we've
show.
talked about some weird things, but like this one I think for sure takes the cake.
I love that we got here from Call of Duty. A guy is in prison because he left his hiding spot to go buy Call of Duty.
Yeah, like your skull is durable and it's supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I get that it's durable. I just feel like a baseball bat, the centrifugal force of a baseball bat.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I am not.
I wonder how much difference there is between like me and like a MLB player. Like if like Barry Bonds were to swing at somebody's head, they'd be dead, right? Like Barry Bonds is like one of the hardest hitters of all time. Baseball bats have different weights though. That's interesting.
There's wooden bats. There's metal bats.
I think a wooden bat would do more damage to the human head than an aluminum bat would.
I don't know.
Because the aluminum bat has like it's hollow, right? So it would hurt more actually. Probably you would feel it more. It would like probably concuss you better. But a wooden bat would just crush through your skull. I think.
I don't know. Like here's the thing. I definitely think that you could easily kill somebody with a baseball bat to the head, but I think that would be from brain damage and not from your skull actually like breaking open.
Your skull's gonna crack though, at the very least. There's no way your skull is intact from a baseball bat to the head.
Yeah, like you probably did some significant damage, but it's not gonna like.
I don't buy this. Even with what's everyone saying, I don't buy that you could survive a full-on baseball bat swing to the head.
I don't know. Yeah,
I just don't buy it. And you know what? You want to know why I don't buy it? Because I'm never going to do it, and I'm never going to be convinced otherwise. Baseball bat to the head is death. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to live. I'm going to live with that assumption for the rest of my life. And you know what I'm going to do with that assumption? I'm never going to swing a baseball bat at someone's head.
Great. You know what? I think that is the correct take from this conversation.
I'm gonna live my life with the fear that if I were to swing a baseball bat at someone's head, they would die, and I don't want to be a murderer, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah,
unless you're in danger, and then like all bets are off. But
yeah, there's a reason the baseball bat is by the front door.
We don't have anywhere else to store it.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
The level of fear I have that someone is going to break into this apartment in this part of Toronto,
1 of 100.
very, very small.
Yeah.
Very small. They would walk in the front door, see the giant cardboard boxes on the stairs, and be like, well, I'm not going upstairs.
Yeah. I'm not concerned.
Maybe when zombies appear, we can find out. Interesting question about a zombie apocalypse, though. Would the integrity of the skull be maintained in a zombie?
Well, different franchises, I think, have handled that differently. Because if you don't have, like... In a lot of, like, zombie stuff, they're kind of, like, falling apart and they still, like, decay.
Mm-hmm.
So, would the bones be softer from lack of calcium? Maybe.
That's the question I'm asking.
Because that's a legitimate thing in, like, real, alive human people.
Right? Like, don't anorexics lose bone... Don't anorexics' bones become weaker if they have a lack of calcium?
You can lose bone density, either from, like, certain illnesses or from lack of nutrition. So I would imagine that over time a zombie's skull would be hard, but if it was the immediate breakout of a zombie apocalypse, a baseball bat wouldn't be my first choice because I feel like it would be less effective as it would be, like, maybe later on. Okay,
so then this brings up an interesting question. The zombie apocalypse starts now. Things are going crazy outside. And this is for Chad as well. I want to hear your answers. What weapon is your go-to? What is the first thing that you pick up to defend yourself?
Well, we only have 5 arrows. So the bow is kind of like a last reserve. That has, like, we have like time for like a Home Depot run. We could get to, there's like places we could get to. What is your like like potato cannon, you can grow your own ammo. A brush axe, a halberd, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna say like a glaive or halberd, something that's got a long spear to keep the reach, but has like a sharp, impactful edge.
Like a glaive?
Yeah, that's
that's fun.
Yeah, if I could choose.
I got a screwdriver. That's about it.
I don't know if that's gonna.
I mean, if you're Jason Bourne, you're good, you know.
But like having a sword for like close-up defense, I feel like would be a good idea. But to keep like the range, like the reach, I would want a longer weapon initially. Like if I get to choose right away.
It really depends for me on. It really depends for me on what kind of zombie apocalypse we're talking about, right? Are we going fast zombie or are we going slow zombie?
World War Z or Walking Dead.
Yeah, because like slow zombies don't scare me all that much.
No, but if they're fast, you need a ranged weapon. You need like a machine gun.
Yeah. If they're fast zombies, you essentially have to be stealthy all the time.
Yeah.
And so machine gun's probably not the best option because everything will come from a mile around because they'll hear it, right? You're gonna want
something with a silencer then.
Silencers do not work the way people think they do. A gun with a silencer is still very loud.
Fair enough.
You're gonna like crossbow's probably pretty good. The problem with crossbow is gonna be reload time. Mm-hmm. A lawnmower with the guard taken off, cut them off at the shins. The problem is they could still get the bite off, right? Because they cut off at the shins. You cut them off at the shins, and then their body falls towards you, towards like we're talking like a thigh area. I think your better option in a zombie apocalypse is not to go offensive; it's to go defensive. Jack
is really pushing that potato cannon.
A potato cannon can shoot up to 300 yards. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. How about a bush, like a hedge trimmer?
A chainsaw is very loud, but it would be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking armor. I'm thinking like goalie pads, like hockey pads.
Yeah, or like an actual like medieval suit of armor.
No, too heavy. Hockey pads are light. They're made for movement. Nothing's getting through that.
Yeah, I don't know if you could. They're so big and bulky though that it'd be hard to be stealthy.
No, like regular hockey pads, like the regular players' hockey pads. Like you have shin guards, you've got like thick pants on. I feel like you'd probably be okay.
Okay.
The problem, you're gonna need some kind of gauntlet. But the nice thing about hockey gloves is they are thick, but they're wide at the wrist, so they have good mobility.
Yeah.
But nothing's gonna bite through hockey gloves.
You can easily get like leather archer bracers because leather is tough to bite through if it's hardened leather.
If your only danger is really getting bitten, then There's a lot of lightweight armor that you could use. I really feel like defensive is going to be your better way to go.
Yeah.
Before that, I'm going to brown nose a company until I get a lifetime supply of their food. Batman armor. Yeah, Switcher Sim 7. If you can have Batman armor, have Batman
That would
armor.
be great. That would be awesome.
There's a company that says that you could be pretty much, you could build a decent Batman suit for like $300 million. Do you think we could raise $300 million on Twitch for me to be Batman?
In a zombie apocalypse?
Pre-zombie apocalypse, so that I have it for the zombie apocalypse.
You know...
I don't think Twitch is going to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Weirder things have happened. Just saying.
Do you think... Wait, okay. Considering the way the world works right now, if a zombie apocalypse were to start to break out,
yeah,
do you think in the early days... This is such a random conversation, but do you think in the early days of the zombie apocalypse, people would make content out of killing zombies?
Yes.
Like, would that be like the thing on TikTok is like my zombie kills?
100,000%. Yeah.
Right? Or like really sad, like there would be so many TikToks that are like people's final moments after they've been bitten.
Oh my god. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, that would definitely be a thing.
It would 100% be a thing, right?
Yeah. 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 That's a no for me. All right.
Social media in the zombie apocalypse.
That would be so weird.
Mm-hmm.
That would... As if our world already isn't, like, weird enough.
Yeah. I have
zombie deniers.
Oh, you would 100% have zombie deniers.
Yeah.
Oh, you would 10,000% have zombie
People be
deniers.
like, this isn't real. The government is trying to... It's a hoax.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Zombie Tinder, but for zombies.
Hi, Muddles.
Zomber.
Oh my god.
I don't think zombies are... zombies are after them brains, not after that brain
pussy.
Game.
Okay.
Oh, wow,
sorry.
you went for... Wow, okay.
Sorry.
Morning show.
It just slipped out. I didn't think about that.
Oh, man. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. Facebook's for zombies is called Face Eater.
Oh, amazing. Hi, Muddles.
This morning show's gone off
After
the
your heart...
rails. How did we get to this from Call of Duty Prison Dude? I guess Call of Duty
we
Zombies
talked
is a thing, so, like, it makes sense.
We were talking about prison and baseball, and then baseball bats.
If it wasn't already demonetized. We're actually not monetized yet, Tom Seems, so it doesn't really matter.
We cannot make money.
We cannot make money on YouTube. We need, like, 400 and something subscribers, and then we can make money.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah,
get there,
we
though.
have
I'm
to
not
hit 1,000.
Warm Blood Style Zombies. Warm Blood, really good movie. I really enjoy Warm Blood. Warm Bodies. I want you to watch Warm Bodies with me.
Okay.
It's a zombie movie.
Yeah, but you told me about it, and it's not like a, like...
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's Romeo and Juliet.
Great. I love
it's great. It's very cute. And it's very fun. The performances are really good. I really like Warm Bodies. It's a really fun movie.
All right.
And Rob Corddry's in it, and he's fantastic. He's really, really good in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
All right. Let's get into some movie news. Since we just talked about a movie. See?
Yeah.
See? Segues.
It's a long segue.
X-Men reboot. The Mutants reportedly in the works at Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige and co. are in. Kevin Feige is said to be heading the project as a producer, and it looks like the Mutants movie will finally introduce the X-Men to the MCU, and that's all the news we have on it. There is literally nothing else. But the Russo brothers, the directors of Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and of course Avengers Endgame, have recently said they're working on a new superhero project that they're very excited about, and it has been said many, many, many times that they are both huge fans of the X-Men. And so there is speculation that this might be the project that brings them back to Das MCU.
That makes sense.
What do you think of the title The Mutants?
Well, I don't know. It kind of makes me... I'm trying to think about it in terms of, like, I did not know what the X-Men was. And I think it would be confusing.
Okay, but we're living in a world where there are 13 X-Men movies that have grossed $7 billion worldwide.
All right, fair enough.
I think at this point you have to assume that people know what the X-Men are.
Yeah.
They're one of the most popular comic characters. Wolverine is one of the most popular characters in the world. I don't think that it's fair to like try and assume that there are a lot of people out there who don't know the X-Men.
Yeah, that's fair. The Mutants feels low effort to me.
I agree.
But it works.
I'm really disappointed that it's not going to be... And look, this is... The movie isn't even in production yet. This might not be the title. But if I were to name this movie, I would name it Astonishing X-Men. Astonishing X-Men is my favorite X-Men line. It's a lot of my favorite X-Men stories are in Astonishing X-Men. And so I think that's the title they should go with. I think The Mutants is a bit... I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. And it'll be a good movie. It's MCU. Like, it'll be enjoyable and, like, all that. But there's so many good X-Men titles from comics that you could use. I really feel like something like Astonishing X-Men would be really dope.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. I wonder if it's going to go back to, like, the original 5 X-Men and start there.
I would love if they just started with the basics.
It is tough, though, right? Because the basics are, not that diverse. And I think that if you're going to make an X-Men movie in modern times, it has to be diverse. And, like, the original 5 X-Men are all white. And Professor X is white, and Magneto is white and Jewish. Right. I also wonder how they're going to handle Magneto at this point. Magneto is... The biggest, like, thing about Magneto is that he is a Holocaust survivor. That is, like, the central thing about Magneto. And everything about Magneto makes sense when you view him as a mutant who was a Jewish person who survived the Holocaust. And it makes him a really interesting character. But we're kind of getting to the point where Magneto being a Holocaust survivor doesn't really make sense anymore, just because of how long it has been and how old Magneto would have to be.
I see, yeah.
Days of Future, like, the first class Days of Future Past era still kind of made sense. Magneto was a child in the Holocaust. He was in his, 70s, 80s. But, even being a child in the Holocaust now puts you at being at least 80.
Yeah.
Right? So it just is kind of... It gets tougher and tougher the further away from World War II we get for Magneto's backstory to be that. Because I don't really want to watch, like, a 105-year-old man be the villain and get his butt kicked. Yeah. It's just kind of weird at a certain age.
Yeah, unless his powers give him, like, unless they also add on some kind of, like, slow aging or regeneration type of abilities, it would be
sure, yeah. There's definitely options.
Yeah.
But,
he uses metal to, like, nourish his body. I don't know.
There has been talk about Magneto being cast as a black actor. In the MCU. There's a lot of pushback against that. There's a lot of people who are like, no, Magneto has to be a Jewish... Like, it is the central thing. Yeah. To take away his Jewish identity would be detrimental to the existence of the character. And I understand that. I think that if you were to do a Black Magneto, you would have to change the Holocaust survivor aspect of the character, which could be interesting. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Bless you. But I don't know. It is tough either way. I think that you are eventually Magneto as a character is going to have to move away from being a Holocaust survivor. Yeah. If you're going to keep having him exist as like a 60-year-old in modern time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like, for sure.
Eventually, they just have to do something about that. Mm-hmm. And it is the problem of comic characters' introductions being tied to real world events.
Yeah. But here's the thing, they're like, this universe is diverse and has a lot of characters in it. Does it have to be Magneto? I mean, maybe for like the first one, but moving forward, maybe he's not like, maybe he's not a big part of the story.
Which I would be fine with. I think the X-Men have so many wonderful villains. You don't really need to use Magneto for all of it. Yeah. I also feel like we have, 9 X-Men movies so far that are so about the relationship between Professor X and Magneto. For sure. I feel like there are other stories that we can tell.
I would like something else. I'd love something fresh. I understand if for, the first, this reboot, you want to have something familiar, I can kind of get it. But I'd like to see something else. I'd like to see something more creative.
I would be interested to see them play with Cyclops being the villain in the way that they did in the comics.
Okay.
Where he's not really the villain. I mean, he is a villain in some of those, but he's just so fiercely defensive about mutants that he kind of overdoes it and becomes a villain. I could see them doing something like that. Thank you so much for gifting that to Richard Sim 7, Shin.
Thank you, Shin.
Thank you for that gift sub. I think that Cyclops, when they made him a pseudo villain, was actually a really interesting character. I thought they handled a lot of that storytelling well in the comics. So I could see them doing something like that just to be different from the last generation. Yeah. I do want Cyclops to come back. I do miss Scott. I feel like we kind of got him. I miss Scott being a leader of the team. Jennifer Lawrence overshadowed so much of the last few X-Men movies. Yeah. That I'm excited. I don't feel like was it Tyler Sheridan who played him in I think Tyler Sheridan played him in
he's the guy from Enchanted.
From Enchanted?
Yeah, the prince.
No, not James Marsden. James Marsden played Cyclops in X-Men 1 through 3.
Right.
I believe Tyler Sheridan played him in Dark Phoenix. And
I did not
Apocalypse.
see Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't really Scott is the leader of the X-Men. He's the tactician. I want to see that version of the character come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Misguided wonders if The Mutants is the main title, but Cutie movies will be subtitled with X-Men, Brotherhood, X-Force. Oh, other movies.
Yeah.
Will be titled with X-Men, Brotherhood, X-Force, and so forth. I would be down for that. I really want an astonishing X-Men movie. That's just what I want. That's my favorite X-Men title. I kind of want these movies to start being named like comic books, where you just like Spider-Man's kind of done that, right? Like Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man this. Just do like X-Men : or Astonishing X-Men, and then the name of the movie. Astonishing X-Men 2, the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Thor's done that. Captain America did that with its titles. I like the way that Marvel titles usually. I just don't feel like The Mutants is the title I want for that franchise.
That's fair.
Just make it X-Men, but then give it a title underneath. And do like some cute Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home stuff that you've been doing with Spider-Man. Just bring that back, because I like that way that you're naming these like we named comic books back in the day, and still name comic books.
Yeah.
I just don't know if The Mutants is the best title. I know that we've already had a movie called X-Men. Don't call this movie X-Men. Call this movie X-Men, and then have the title underneath.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think, they're probably wanting to distance and differentiate themselves, which I get, but I'm not
throw in
love.
Astonishing.
Yeah, I'm not in love with the title.
Yeah, I mean,
do you have any ideal castings you would want to see?
I know. I have no idea.
Fair enough. We don't have a lot of information about what this is even about.
You know who I think would actually be to have David be the next Wolverine? No, I want the next Wolverine to be short. I think I could play Scott Summers. I feel like I would be a good Cyclops.
Yeah.
I feel like people would hate me the way that people hate Cyclops. That makes sense to me. Wow. I feel like who else could I be? I feel like I could play Iceman. Although Iceman, they're definitely going to cast a gay actor as Iceman. I think, considering what's going on in the comics, and I would support that. Angel would be fun, but I would have to get so jacked. Nerdy would be a good Beast. I think a young Beast would be fun. I would love to be a young Beast.
That'd be fun.
That would be very fun.
I'll be the next Dark Phoenix.
The next Jean Grey. That's a cosplay you have to do.
Oh, 100%.
In other movie news, bouncing back to Warner Brothers, it looks like they might be trying to make a Harry Potter and the Cursed Child movie.
No.
Yeah, I know.
No, don't do it.
I know.
Don't.
Warner Brothers is really trying to make Harry Potter happen right now.
Just
stop. And it's very interesting.
Just stop. Like, we don't...
Because we got the news that they were making a TV show. They're making Fantastic Beasts 3. The video game is coming out, even though the lead designer did leave over his far-right YouTube page. Yeah. Oh, really quickly before I talk about this, Captain Simon Bun says Lupita Nyong'o is Storm. That is great casting if Storm is like a lead. If Storm is just going to be like a tertiary character, don't waste Lupita Nyong'o's time. She's too good.
Yeah.
But if they were to say, like, we're doing a Storm solo movie starring Lupita Nyong'o, absolutely. Give it to me.
In 100,000%. Like...
that's really great casting for the character. I just think that Lupita Nyong'o deserves to be the lead of a movie. Yes. Although if they were to introduce Lupita Nyong'o can't be, right? Because she's already in Black Panther.
Right.
Although if they were to say that Nakia is Storm, that would be fine. Yeah. If she were to develop mutant powers and she became Storm, it's a different origin for the character, but that would be fine, right? 'Cause she doesn't have superpowers in Black Panther.
No.
So if she were to have her X gene or whatever become active, that would be really interesting. The sad thing is that we would never get to see her and T'Challa. We would never get to see her and T'Challa get together, which would be very disappointing for me. And we never will, because we won't have a T'Challa in the MCU moving forward. But the Storm T'Challa relationship is really beautiful in the comics, and really awful at times. Because comics need conflict, but when it's good, it's really good. That's good casting. Lupita Nyong'o would be a great Storm.
She's amazing.
She'd be good at anything, though.
At everything.
Lupita Nyong'o would be a great Wolverine.
Hell yeah! That would be dope.
Or a Cyclops. If they were to make Cyclops a woman, that'd be fun.
That would be cool.
Have Cyclops and Jean Grey be this really difficult lesbian love affair that ends with Jean Grey killing Cyclops in the Dark Phoenix. I could see that being that could be very interesting.
I'd watch it.
And then having Wolverine be the third wheel on their relationship would be so interesting. Make it a weird bisexual love triangle. I would be very into that.
Yeah, actually.
Or actually make Wolverine a woman too, and then have We
want to be all-female X-Men.
We want to be different from the X-Men's, from the Foxverse. So we're just gonna make everyone a woman.
Thank you for the bits, Zero B.
Thank you for the bits.
I would be so down if this first movie was just all the characters reimagined as strong, badass women. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Give that to me.
Yeah.
I would love that. Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. So Cursed Child.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter. Thank you for those videos, Zerby.
Thank you.
The Cursed Child, the movie. What are your thoughts?
No, don't do it.
I mean, stop making Harry Potter stuff, first of all, but...
Yeah, here's the thing. I love Harry Potter. I am probably... I don't say this lightly. I am probably one of the bigger Harry Potter fans. It was such an influential part of my childhood, and I know those books so well. I've read them so many times. Just stop. Don't do it. I don't need any more. Move on. Make new content. Make new original ideas. Here's the thing. Cursed Child only works. Cursed Child is only good because it is a staged show and the magic is incredible. Mm-hmm. As far as scripts go, it's not super well written. It's not the best. It's not the best story, but they do they really, really managed to create something out of this world and incredible with the effects and the music and the ambiance of being in the theater. I would not watch it as a movie. I don't want it. Well,
and we've said we're not going to be supporting anything that will financially benefit J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
Because of her views on trans people and not her views. I think that you're allowed to have whatever views you want. I think that it's the way that she is posting about them and the damaging way she
yeah.
If you wanna very quietly hold those views inside of you, fine. I don't care.
Never utter them aloud, whatever.
Yeah, but when you're promoting things, here's why I wanted to bring this up, because I'm never going to see this movie if it comes out, right?
No.
I don't really care. I also wouldn't watch it. I don't think that the play as written makes a good movie, or 2 movies, because it would have to be 2 films.
Why?
Because you would have to cut out so much.
Yeah, that's true, lengthwise.
My thing with this is that Warner Brothers seems to want to make... The reason I wanted to talk about this is Warner Brothers seems to want to make more Harry Potter stuff without addressing what is going on in the Harry Potter fandom. Mm-hmm. And the fact that a large section of the Harry Potter fandom is not interested in more Harry Potter stuff. is not interested in financially supporting this woman.
Yeah, a huge part of it.
This also comes with the rather weird news that it's not weird in some ways, but it is weird given everything going on, that you will be able to play as a trans character in the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Yeah.
Which is considering everything going on, is such an odd... This whole situation is so odd.
Yeah, I'm sure that they did that because of the entire situation.
Chaotic Neutral Goblin, thank you for subscribing. Welcome in. But it feels pandery in a way that I think it's pandering to the people who aren't going to buy the game.
Yeah, well, exactly. People are already upset. People don't want it. Like, I really don't know what Warner Brothers is thinking. I don't.
Because Warner Brothers hasn't distanced themselves from J.K. Rowling. Like, they keep making comments like J.K. Rowling is not directly involved in this. And we're like, yes, but she gets paid.
Yeah.
I think the best thing Warner Brothers could do for themselves, and I would hate to see this happen because I think that it would benefit J.K. Rowling too much, would be to find a way to, like, buy her out of it so that she is no longer in any way attached.
Yeah.
But again, she would become a billionaire all over again in that sale. So it's like,
yeah,
that doesn't actually make the situation any better. It's just tough, right? Like it's tough because there's no way for Warner Brothers to move forward in a way that would genuinely satisfy people.
Yeah.
The only thing that could happen is for J.K. Rowling to publicly make amends with the communities that she's done harm to.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem interested in doing that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like Warner Brothers has this property that, like, is worth so much money to them. Mm-hmm. So they feel like they have to, like, do something with it. And I think that this is just the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah.
If anything, if I was Warner Brothers, I would just put Harry Potter in the vault for, like, 5 years.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Give me the next Harry Potter. Mm. Give me the next thing that I want to love and cherish and, like, bring into my life, like Harry Potter.
That isn't Harry Potter.
That isn't Harry Potter. Give me the next thing. Be creative. Make like new. I want new. I want the next Game of Thrones. I want the next Lord of the Rings. I want the next Harry Potter. I don't want that same thing redone. Yeah. Cause like I just, yeah.
I don't know. It's tough.
I don't want anything to do with.
It's a little bit easier because the last Fantastic Beasts movie was not good, and like I was kind of done with it.
I mean, yeah.
As a franchise, like I'm like, all right, you can't just add Dumbledores. I
almost left the theater.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
I literally like stood up and I was like I almost left the theater.
So it's a little bit easier because I'm kind of like I don't really care moving forward. I'll keep the stuff I've already purchased, the stuff that I already own. I'm gonna keep enjoying. I'm not gonna like burn my Blu-rays.
No. But no new support for anything. Like, that will always be, like, a cherished and, like, special franchise because of the previous years. But you can't hold on to things forever. They will always be
Warner
special.
Brothers wants to. Warner Brothers is trying to.
Stop
A TV show, a movie. The Fantastic Beasts 3 marketing campaign is going to be weird.
Yeah.
Those poor actors who are going to have to sit through those press junkets is going to be so weird.
Yeah.
Those poor actors. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. It's I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's why I got really excited about the Shadow and Bone trailer.
New things.
I was like, this is a new thing that looks like something that I am going to love. And I legitimately was like, I think I might get that book. I think I might get that book and read it. And we had time off this past week and I wanted to, but I didn't because we were doing other things. But I still, I think about it at least a few times a day. I'm like, I should get that book and I should start on it because I think I'm going to love it.
Tater just said that new ideas aren't financially lucrative. I disagree with that.
It depends. Here's the thing. They think Harry Potter is safe. It's safe money and it's a franchise they've already invested in. New ideas can definitely be financially lucrative.
Look at Stranger Things. Look at the financial appeal of Stranger Things. Look at the merchandising appeal of Rick and Morty, right? Yeah. Like, there are new worlds being built, and they are fantastic.
Yeah.
They're very cool. I think that there are new products that are doing really, 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 really well.
Yeah.
Look at Fast and the Furious is not that old. You know what I mean? Like, there are times where these companies are able to come up with new things that are hugely successful, mostly on streaming services because of the availability of them.
Yeah. Well, because everyone right now is obsessed with rehashing the old thing. More Star Wars, more Lord of the Rings, more Harry Potter, more of Star Trek, more of the same old thing. And, like, I get it. I do. I
Which
really
is funny,
do understand.
Because there's a new Star Trek movie coming from J.J. Abrams and Star Trek Discovery writer Kalinda Vasquez. That's our next story.
All right. Okay.
That's it. That's all I have on it. But there is a new Star Trek movie coming. We might be getting a Star Trek 4, or it might be a new thing.
Yeah, but if it's by different people. Right?
I really wanted the Star Trek movie where Chris Hemsworth was going to come back as Chris Pine's dad. That was the Star Trek 4 that we were going to get, but I don't know if we're going to get it. But.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I actually really liked the new Star Trek movies when they came out because they were their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like...
I really enjoy them, actually.
Yeah, I think that for the most part, obviously there's some things that I'm like, but for the most part, I think they're really brilliant, well executed, and didn't feel like Star Trek original series. They felt like inspired by and kind of like creatively enhanced. I don't know what the right word for it is, but it wasn't like we are going to keep doing the same thing. It seemed like somebody was inspired by Star Trek and kind of used that platform to make these movies, and I think they did a brilliant job.
I think it's they made good movies in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah.
I think Star Trek has always struggled to make movies because people think of Star Trek as being this long form storytelling device.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Star Trek movies are really bad. Like not like kind of bad, but like the original Star Trek movies, a lot of them are really bad.
Yeah.
And Wrath of Khan is great, but Wrath of Khan is the only one that's great. Even like the good Star Trek movies are only good. The others are really, really bad. Because they're not... The original Star Trek stuff wasn't built for movie storytelling. And I feel like what the new Kelvin timeline does really well is... Taters, I love Star Trek. I love Star Trek so much. Those movies are not good. Star Trek the Motion Picture is a bad movie. Like, it's a bad film. It's good in the context of, like, if you're watching it with the show, as, like, a long episode of the show, it's fine. But it's a bad movie on its own. And I say that as someone who loves it. Like, I'll watch it. I will sit down and watch it. I know that objectively, if for an audience that does not watch the TV show, that film is not a good film experience. It's not made well for that. But that's not what they were trying to do, right? Like, they were trying to play into a vibe that the show is giving off. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Kelvin timelines are really good on their own as a film-going experience. Shin, thank you for gifting us sub to No Mandy Sky!
Thank you, Shin!
Shin's going crazy in the chat.
Shin is funding our trip to Japan.
Also, thank you to everyone who is contributing to the boost. We only need 4,000 more, so if 2 more people can give that 2,000 channel points.
If you have some points, please.
Those movies, they're not great. And I feel like the Kelvin timeline makes good movies in that universe that are digestible. I don't like Into Darkness, but Star Trek and Star Trek Beyond are both good movies.
Yeah.
That you can watch on their own. You know what I mean? Like,
I do think though that the casting...
We're boosted!
Yay!
Boosted!
I do have to agree that the casting was brilliant for the movies as well. And that definitely helped.
Oh, yeah.
Helped a lot.
Who would have thought Zachary Quinto would be so good as Spock?
Me.
Really?
Yeah.
I was surprised, honestly.
No, they were like Zachary Quinto, and I was like, the guy from Heroes? Hell yeah! Like, I was so into it from day one.
I think I didn't believe anyone could do it. Like, I didn't think that you could have cast anyone other than Leonard Nimoy. Yeah. Is a
really difficult thing, and I think he did an incredible job.
It was like when they cast Han Solo with Alden Ehrenreich. Yeah. And I was like, no. Like, no one can play Han Solo. And then I actually really like Alden Ehrenreich in Solo. It was this... I really like Alden Ehrenreich's performance in Solo. I feel the same way about Zachary Quinto in Star Trek. I was like, more so than any other character in Star Trek, Spock is the one that I was like, no one can do that.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy
so
is Spock.
Iconic.
And I loved Zachary Quinto. He's my favorite part of those movies.
Yeah.
He really is. Him and Uhura, like, the...
Bones is funny. but like not in like the leading kind of way.
Scotty is really great in those movies.
Yeah.
They're all great. Honestly, even Chris Pine. I mean, Chris Pine might be the best Chris. Him and Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans. They're in a 3-way tie up top there.
It's tough.
That's a foursome I would love to be in. Can you imagine?
Oh god.
So many muscles.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. It's such a great cast, but you know, Zachary Quinto really that's the part that needed to work for me to enjoy those movies, because Spock is my favorite Star Trek character, and he did, thankfully.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah. Ugh.
Simon Pegg as Scotty is so good.
So good. Just incredible.
And then his writing on Star Trek Beyond, like, yeah. Let Simon Pegg write more Star Trek. He's such a good writer.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I need... Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this fits in. I know Star Trek Discovery is really hit or miss for people.
Like I said, I am of the opinion I don't like it because I watched the first episode and I was like, no.
Which means that you have not watched the show.
Yeah, which...
No, literally, like, first episode is a completely different thing from even the second. Like, the 180 between the pilot and the second episode in Star Trek Discovery is so massive.
Yeah.
Because the pilot doesn't really have the cast all in it. You don't meet any of the main characters. It's really like a prologue more than it is an episode of the show.
Yeah.
It's this is what just happened in this world before the moment the show starts.
Yeah.
And that being said, the first few episodes of Star Trek Discovery are a little tough. It took them some time to find their footing, but once they found their footing, I think season 2 is really good. I haven't seen season 3 yet, but I think season 2 of Discovery is really, really good.
Yeah.
It took them some time to find their footing, for sure. And the time loop episode, the Groundhog Day episode of Star Trek Discovery is phenomenal. It feels like old Trek. The time loop episode is a phenomenal episode of Star Trek across any series. I really, really love it.
That's fair. I think I am, I'm definitely harsher on things. If your pilot isn't good, if in the first episode there's not something that, like, I love there, then, one of Jessica Jones is still one of my favorite shows. Obviously, only first season, second season. But that, like, first episode, just whatever they did to make it the way that they did and hook you in, like, that's what I expect from a show.
That isn't fair, though.
I know it's not. I'm just like, there's so much content out there. You have to be good. You got to give me something in that first episode. Your first episode cannot be bad. It has to be something that I can grab onto, or I will just move on to the next thing.
To be fair, Jessica Jones is based on a comic book series that had that time to already figure it out. By the time you get the Jessica Jones TV show, first of all, the team behind the Jessica Jones TV show had just finished making 2 seasons of Daredevil.
Right.
And it's the same production team.
Yeah.
So, like, you had a crew that walked onto that set already knowing each other, already working well together, already kind of having a vibe. Jessica Jones is based on a highly, highly successful comic book called Alias that is brilliant. Brian Michael Bendis' work on Alias is genius. And so you had all of the work that other shows have to do to get to the point where they like where they kind of feel like they vibe was done in Alias.
Yeah.
And so Jessica Jones didn't have to do that work because they already knew how everything was going to play out. Television shows need time. They need gestation. The cast needs to come together.
The first episode of Game of Thrones is great.
But it was the second time they did it.
The second time? What do you mean?
They filmed the entire pilot, threw it all out, recast some people, and then filmed the pilot again.
Oh, I didn't know.
So you're not even watching the first episode. It's like Star Trek, the original series, right? The original pilot of Star Trek, you can watch now on Netflix, but it didn't air.
Yeah.
And it's a weirder, different episode because it took them some time to figure it out.
Yeah, that's true.
These things take time, and I think that judging things based on their pilots is... Because people make a pilot, they go away for 6 months, and then they come back knowing what the show is that they're making, and they make a better show. Television needs that time. And I think that judging things based on a pilot, you miss out on a lot of great television if you do that.
I can understand that. It's just that there's so much out there. Like, there is so much content that, like, I move on very quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
unless I, like, force you to keep watching it.
Well, yeah. Or, you know, or if it's something that, like, I think will get really good based on either what other people say or those kind of things. I just... Yeah, there's got to be something in your pilot. Because I'm the type of person that will move on, for sure.
I just want to say thank you for following Chili Willy.
Thank you.
You have a great name. But I also want to say, if I had given up on Parks and Rec after the first 6 episodes, because the first season of Parks and Rec is bad. Because they were not... The comedy didn't work. They didn't figure it out. Mm-hmm. Parks and Rec then comes back with season 2. If I had not stuck with Parks and Rec, I would have missed out on one of my favorite television experiences of all time. One of my favorite TV shows ever made in Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec was a joyful, bright light in my life for a long time when I needed it.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec is one of my favorite shows ever. And it has a trashy 6-episode mess of a first season. Okay. And then they figured it out. And once they figured it out, they made one of the most wholesome, open-hearted, kind series of television that has ever existed. It is one of the, like, most, like, kind things you can watch.
Okay.
And it had a really bad first 6 episodes because they were, like, trying things. And especially in comedy, you have to try things.
Yeah.
But, like, Ron Swanson to me is one of the greatest characters on television. And I love him so much. There is so much in, like, how to be a good man in Ron Swanson, and I'm so appreciative of that.
Okay.
And yeah, if I'd given up when I was like, this, I don't care about this hole in the ground. Like, the first, it's tough. Yeah. But God, if I'd missed Parks and Rec, I would be so mad at myself later on in life. I would be really upset with myself if I found it later on in life and I hadn't watched it every week the way that I did. Okay. That was my weekly #1 show. Ahead of all the superhero shows, ahead of everything else. It was that, and then after that it was The Good Place, because The Good Place is, like, the same, like, positive vibe that I need in my life.
Yeah, The Good Place is brilliant television.
Yeah.
Like that, like, The Good Place will always and forever be, like, remembered as a perfect television show.
I feel like The Good Place made me a better person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And I have never seen a better, like, ending to a story. Like,
as far as, like, final episodes, I think Good Place will go down as one of the best final episodes in TV history.
Ever made. Like, it's so good. Hemi, if you have not seen it, you really, really need to.
Yeah. Dark Dispatch, I love Superstore.
We watched the first episode the other day.
And you liked that first episode.
Yeah, it was good.
It's funny.
Yeah.
The first episode's a little ridiculous, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, the Superstore is great. I haven't finished Superstore, but I think I'm going to try and get this one to watch it with me. Y'all, you know what? That's a good place to end. Positivity and joy. It's also been over 90 minutes of show. Our longest morning show yet.
Oops.
But this is what we're going to do on Mondays now, because we don't have a show for a week from here. So, we hope they enjoyed this. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, do all those things. If you're in our Twitch chat, keep hanging out. We're going to probably stick around for a few minutes.
Yeah, we're going to stick around.
But until next time, which will be a week from today, you can follow me over at twitch.tv/nerdynightly. I'm going to be doing a lot of Pokemon this week. We're getting into the nerdy lock. I think that we're going to try and beat Pokemon Red either tomorrow or Wednesday night during the stream. I think we're going to get all 8 badges tomorrow, and then we're going to fight the Elite Four on Wednesday is my goal. We're not going to get any wipes. No more wipes. What are you up to this week, Clarice?
I'm streaming later today, so if you want to come hang out more with me, that's over at twitch.tv/ClarisDeCaris. It's up there.
Those are our social links across the internet.
Yeah, you can find us all over the place. I think today I'm going to be getting back into the Pokemon Emerald. I need to get the last gym badge. Make sure you come back for Skyrim Saturday.
Are you going to take on the Elite Four today?
No, I need the 8th badge. I have to go get Rayquaza and catch, like... Well, I don't actually have to catch Rayquaza. I've said I'm not going to use Legendary, so actually it doesn't really matter.
They make it a little too easy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. I'm doing this Pokemon Emerald run with no Legendaries, so it'll be fun.
Come follow us for those things, and join us across the internet for all of our shenanigans and tomfoolery. Follow us on TikTok. Please.
Yeah. Follow us on TikTok.
And as always, do something nerdy tonight.
Bye. Bye.